Hello, everyone. I'm Morgan Davis, and today we're going to be talking about childhood obesity and the effects that it has on our children. So, I've had many students coming in my office and expressing their concerns about being bullied and about their health. And so, today we're just going to take time to go over some of the things that are concerning, and we're also going to go over some ways that we can help these children here at school and ways that we can incorporate good health and clean eating and exercise here at school. Okay, for today's agenda, we are going to be covering a brief introduction just about childhood obesity and some statistics and some concerns. Then we're going to be going over 4 of the main problems associated with obesity. We're also going to be talking about how teachers can promote and implement health education in their classrooms and within their lessons each day that they're doing. We're also going to be talking about how teachers can keep kids active during the day, aside from free play and physical education. Some ideas and tips and tricks that you can do with your lessons and inside the classroom and also outdoor learning. We're also going to be covering depression, bullying, and obesity and how that all kind of just goes together. And then, last but not least, we're going to be covering emotional and spiritual issues surrounding childhood obesity. Childhood obesity is a condition in which a child has excessive body fat that can negatively impact their health and their well being. It's defined as having a body mass index at or above the 95th percentile for children of the same age and sex. The number of children diagnosed with childhood obesity is on the rise, and we're going to look at some statistics in a moment that kind of show those numbers are trending upward instead of downward, so that is concerning. There are lots of different factors that can factor into why a child is obese. Now, for some statistics within the United States concerning childhood obesity, approximately 1 in 5 U.S. children have obesity. And if you look around your classrooms and just imagine 1 in every 5, that is a large amount of children in the United States who have obesity. And obesity can affect these children in many different ways. Sometimes we don't always think about all the negative effects, but one thing is that it affects their mind and their thinking and their ability to learn and their ability to make friends and their emotional state. So there's lots of things that contribute in to a child feeling the way they do if they have childhood obesity. From 2007 to 2020, the prevalence of obesity among children was at 19.7%. So that meant that approximately 14.7 million U.S. youth were obese. I also added these pictures of a lot of foods that children enjoy and even us adults enjoy a donut, cereal, a hot dog, a piece of chocolate cake. All of these things are delicious, but they're also full of sugar, and sadly it's what most of our children are being fed all during the day and at home at night. So we are going to try to start implementing healthier snacks here at school, healthier celebration snacks for when they have a birthday or we have a special celebration at school. And also just to help our children focus more clearer and feel better. I know as an adult that if I fuel my body with things that are not healthy and have a lot of sugar in them, then I'm not feeling my best. But when I eat vegetables and fruit and am drinking water and staying active, I feel better and can think better. And this is what we want for our children as well. There are four main problems associated with childhood obesity that are very concerning. Obesity can affect all aspects of children and adolescents, including but not limited to their psychological health and cardiovascular health, and also their overall physical health. Obesity is also associated with conditions such as hypertension, diabetes, sleep apnea, poor self esteem, and even depression. And we're going to talk about that a little later on, but it really affects them mentally as well. Children with obesity who were followed up to adulthood were much more likely to suffer from cardiovascular and digestive diseases. The increase in body fat also exposes the children to the increased risk of numerous forms of cancer, such as breast, colon, kidney, and pancreatic cancer. And this is just very concerning because a lot of times, I know even as a parent, we kind of grab the foods that are just easier to grab and give them because we're always on the go. And at school, I know that they are eating snacks that their parents have packed for them. And then, we have snacks here at school. And we just need to stop and think, are we giving them the best options? Are we giving them something that is going to just help them right now, not to be hungry, and harm them later down the road? Or are we giving them something that's going to fuel their body, help them feel better, and then decrease their risk of all of these conditions I just listed? Now we're going to go over some ways that you, as teachers and educators, can implement health education in your classrooms each and every day. So, one idea is allowing students to bring water bottles from home and have access to water easily throughout the day. This is something that allows students to stay hydrated and kind of stay away from the milks and the juices and the cokes that they would probably like to have, but we know that their bodies need water. So, this is just a great idea to allow them to bring water from home. Also, teachers can work on making student celebrations and fundraisers healthier. Okay, so allowing parents to bring in maybe items from home for birthday celebrations or celebrations that you have at school, but going over the importance of less sugary foods and drinks and high protein snacks and less carb snacks to help our children feel their best and to look their best so mentally they feel better. So this is a good one. I know we do lots of fundraisers, but it would be awesome if we could look for fundraisers who supply more healthier options for our children. Also, it would be super fun and easy for you to implement health education into your lessons each day. I think it's a fun thing for kids. It's kind of something that is different and new and fun for them. So they can talk about healthy bodies, a healthy lifestyle. I know as a school counselor, that is something that we do talk about in some of our lessons. And if children come into my office, we always talk about health, nutrition, if that's a situation that they are burdened with or concerned about. But it's very important to remind our children that the lifestyle that they live and the things that they fuel their body with is important. It's important how they feel and how they perform at school and how their attitudes are with their friends and their family. So I think it's just important to always remind our children that it's important to be healthy. So I also put some little sticky notes, and teachers can promote good health by being a good role model and promoting the health. They watch, those little eyes see what we put in our bodies and the things that we do. So if they're seeing you make smart choices with exercise and eating, they're going to be more encouraged to do the same thing. Also, never using snacks or candies as rewards. Try to find something else. I know kids are very into stickers these days, some little fidget toys, but giving those sugary snacks and candy each day is really not helping the situation. So we can find other ways to encourage and reward students. So let's talk about how teachers can keep children active during the school day. And I know everyone has a full plate of things that they need to get done during the day, things to teach, lessons to prepare and teach, but it is very, very important to keep our kids active during the school day. Okay, and I know that they're going to physical education and they have free playtime, but also we need to strive to also implement movement into our lessons each day for our children. I was a pre-K teacher for 8 years, so it was very important for me to allow my 4-year-olds to get up and move and have activities with movement or standing or sitting and standing. And children, when we think about children, we think about 4-year-olds, yes, needing that movement, but not so much fourth and fifth graders. But it is true that they need to get up and be going as well. They do not need to sit at a desk for 7 or 8 hours a day. So, there's lots of different things that you can do to include movement into your lessons and into your class each day. One of the favorite things that I love is when it is pretty outside, and I know that it's winter and we haven't been able to get out a lot, but when you can get out of your classroom and move your lesson outdoors. That way your children can move around. You might go on a learning walk, a science walk. There's all different things you can do outside. You can have any lesson outside. So that's always great for kids to get fresh air and be moving. Also, having special equipment for the children, and I know that we have a lot of that here at our school that you are able to use at any time, but things such as hula hoops and bicycles and jump ropes and all of the things that they may not get to do at home, or they may not have those resources at home, they love to do here at school. And it is important for their learning, for their growth, for their bodies to be healthy and move each and every day. Also, I love music and movement incorporated. Children love music. They like to dance. They like to have brain breaks, as we call them. So, anytime that you can allow your children to have 2 or 3 minutes of movement and let their brains rest and let them move their body and get up and get going is a great idea. We're now going to talk about depression, bullying, and obesity, and how all three of those unfortunately just tie in together. Not only are there health concerns associated with childhood obesity, but a children's weight problem is also entangled in his or her emotional world. Compared with normal weight children, obese children have a higher prevalence of school and mental health problems. And I have seen that often in my office recently. Children who are obese, who are depressed and anxious, and are being bullied in the classroom, at physical education class, at lunch. And it is a very sad thing. So we need to act now and help these children. Okay, so obese children are more likely to be bullied, and then they're more applicable to be depressed or angry and have anger issues, or some of them shut down and don't complete their work and don't talk to their friends and stay isolated. I've seen this often, that when children are being bullied, they become really depressed and sad. And I know most of you have heard, but some people, when they're depressed and sad and angry, they tend to eat their feelings. So these children are sad and upset when they go home, but they're going home and they're eating so much food to try to heal the wounds of their hurting heart and their hurting emotional state. There are many emotional and spiritual issues that surround childhood obesity. Children dealing with obesity normally have a very low self esteem. This is a very emotional thing and hard to deal with for many children. A lot of the children think of themselves as lower than children who have a normal body weight. And in a spiritual aspect, they're not, lots of them have even told me in counseling sessions they know that they are not keeping their body healthy like God intended them to, and that upsets them as well. Obese children fear judgment from others and tend to isolate themselves. That ties in with the depression. They kind of just shut down and isolate themselves and are not talking with peers or working in um, groups, to complete an assignment. They just kind of are, by themselves and just do not really want to talk or be active in any activities in school or outside of school. Here are the resources I used to create this presentation, and I learned so much through this, and I hope that you all can take these things that we've talked about today and implement them in your classroom and just keep them in your heart and really just think about how we're helping our children. I know all of you already have this handout, but I wanted to go ahead and just go over it as well. You can keep this, it's a great reminder. It has the statistics listed and then some ideas that we talked about that you can implement in your classroom and in your daily lessons or outside activities. So you can keep this as a reminder of what we've talked about and gone over today. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me.